It's an ambush.
Oh my God, it's an ambush!
It's an ambush!
Of course!
Good evening, everyone. Here we are. I'm awake on a Friday night. Oh, sorry, Friday night. Haha, it's Saturday. What do I know? Get my days all mixed up. Yeah, but I'm awake usually past my bedtime. And for those of you on the West Coast, you're like, Scribe, it's like just after 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is your bedtime? Well, when you get up most weekdays to have to be active at 4 a.m. for work, yeah, this is... I'm forced to be like an old man time schedule because of work stuff. But it's the weekend, right? Dang it, I can stay up all night, eat ice cream, watch horror movies if I want to. Or I can try to find out what botanical sexism is, because you know, it's just one of those things, I guess. The curiosity superseded my sleep schedule, sleep cycle, circadian rhythm, whatever. Anyway, so we'll make this relatively quick because the video is relatively quick. But holy cats, who's all showed up for this? Mike R., good evening. Funtime Bats, good evening. Bridget, good evening. Thank you for taking a break from slamming into people. Shady Grin, good evening. Draco Winsrin, good evening. JB, good evening. Best Remy, good evening. I also have to say I'm talking with all my teeth appliances in my mouth, so I better, yeah. I'll take out the one because I can't remove the other, because those are actually glued on. Unfair Ophelia, good evening. God Ready, the one true god of all rats, good evening. Robert Pincus, good evening. Nebiros. Am I saying that correctly? Let me know. Or is it like Nebiros? I don't know. Nebulous. Mike R again. And Derek LaRue, holy cats, Derek. Thank you so much. I mean, on a off-the-cuff little silly stream. Thank you so much. It's very generous of you. Appreciate it as always for your continuing support, and hope you enjoy this little bite-sized stream for the evening. Hero Soldier, good evening. Urcule Stefano, good evening. And yeah, so the question is, according to this video, is botanical sexism the reason why your allergies are worse this year? I mean, could be. Human Con, good evening. Evil One, good evening. Yeah, so is it botanical sexism that's caused your allergies to be worse this year, guys? And by the way, this video was posted, I think, all of like a week ago? Because as you know, we're really into allergy season right now, so good timing on that one. Okie Native, good evening. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people and scribbles. Hello, Kyle. But yeah, so yeah, let's just find out what is botanical sexism and how is it affecting your allergies. This comes from NBC's little side channel that posts very random and strange things from time to time. Came across this the other day and thought this might come in handy someday. Vader35, good evening. All right, anyway, botanical sexism. What is it, and how does it affect you? Let's find out.
You may have heard the term
Botanical sexism.
I, in fact, have never heard of the term botanical sexism. The closest I have come to, and I thought about this when I saw this before, was something like environmental justice or spatial justice or something like that. But that's as close as I've come to botanical sexism.
Sexism.
Botanical sexism.
floating around online. It's been part of a larger conversation about how bad allergy seasons have gotten.
Take your antihistamines. Mild antihistamines, where it's Claritin or the over-the-counter stuff, or you know the bargain brand stuff. Just, I think some people are being drama queens on TikTok, if you can believe it. Yeah.
And what's to blame?
What's to blame? Yeah, pollen, grass seed, grass clippings, other things. Yeah.
Botanical sexism describes
The preference U.S. cities have shown
For planting male trees exclusively.
What? planting male trees exclusively. I didn't know what I was getting into, but now I know. And as I have said before, knowing... Where is it? Where is it? I just put this up the other day. Come on. I just had it. There it is. Knowing is a constant source of disappointment. Could my timing be any worse? Probably not. But anyway. Okay. Male trees.
Planters who are mostly male.
Planting male trees over female trees because they're easier to maintain.
So the male trees produce the pollen,
But not enough female trees to absorb the pollen.
the pollen is not getting absorbed. So
The pollen is not getting absorbed. You got all those studs out there with nowhere to sow their oats. That's actually not a bad analogy. Okay.
we get to.
An urban pollen explosion.
Thus the sniffling, the coughing, the eating nose fluids as
Can you believe it? The female trees are more difficult to maintain. I'll just leave that there.
afternoon snacks.
There's not much scientific evidence to support the theory, but
There's not much scientific evidence to support the theory, but what little we have gleaned from our nutball analysis is enough to make a video on.
it still comes up every few years. The term botanical sexism has had several surges in popularity since 2011.
Well, and obviously because, argumentum ad populum means that it must be true.
It peaked this spring according to Google Trends.
Oh.
And I get it. I've been looking for an explanation too.
You've been looking for an explanation for seasonal allergies. I don't know what to tell you.
There are generally 3 allergy seasons: spring, summer, and fall. I struggle with all of them.
I've never really experienced fall. Spring, sure. Summer, not so much. I mean, I guess everybody's different. My family on my mother's side, and thus me by inheritance, have had allergies. I had them worse when I was a kid. They've kind of tapered off as I've gotten older. But yeah, my eyes get itchy and my nose gets a little runny sometimes in the spring, more so than any other time of the year. Mostly it's, pollen, when the cotton seed starts floating around, that kind of thing. But,
The experts I spoke to say that has a lot to do with climate change.
Of course it has to do, everything has to do with climate change. Oh my God. We don't have much science on this, of course, but we were pretty sure it has to do with climate. Or actually, it's the male trees being planted more than female trees. To what frequency, we can't say, don't know. But obviously it's because, men are preferable and less difficult to maintain.
And rising CO2 levels.
Yeah.
From 1990 to 2018, pollen concentrations rose by 21% across North America.
Wow. And that's from climate change?
Plants are producing a lot more pollen, and in some places, pollen season has extended by nearly a month.
Are plants producing a lot more pollen, or are there more plants producing pollen? I know that's a weird question to ask. How has, I don't know, if you're talking about trees and plants and things, has there been more development in, let's say, urban spaces of green spaces and parkland and things like that might have propagated more trees in the environment than there were before, rather than trees producing more pollen? I know, I'm not a botanical sexism scientist. Of course, I don't think any of our speakers are, but there could be another reason.
Is it true that the actual pollen itself is more allergenic?
We have a lot of evidence that certain species are producing pollen that is more allergenic.
Okay. Just all of a sudden?
However, we only know this for a handful of different species.
How? Okay, how? You've measured the pollen potency between eras or generations?
So we as scientists have a lot of work left to do.
So you really don't know yet what you're talking about. Okay.
To really understand how climate change is going to affect our allergy symptoms.
Wait. Okay. So you're guessing. You have no idea if quote-unquote climate change is making pollen more potent or not. And you can't say that they're producing more pollen or there's just more plants producing pollen. Okay.
Over the coming decades.
There's also air pollution and the fact that we spend a lot more time indoors than previous generations.
Okay, what happened to male trees being the... this seems like you're coming up with all these possible answers, which means you don't know anything about any of it.
The so-called hygiene hypothesis, which basically says that as we have spent more and more of our lives inside, we get a lot less exposure to the microorganisms that we have such a long co-evolutionary history with.
And the air inside our homes could be more polluted than outside.
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends on one's personal bathing habits.
So any problems with the last shot? No reaction or swelling?
We're not exposed to the good soils and good bacteria and clean organic foods.
Wait, are you telling us all to go touch grass? Are you telling us all to go touch grass? Well, then who would watch your internet videos?
That actually prevented our immune systems from becoming allergic.
I mean, I'll give you this. There's a whole lot of, whether you're talking about environmental or just sort of life lesson wise, there's a whole generation or two of people who are probably weaker psychologically, physiologically, and so on for being far more sheltered, literally and figuratively, in their lives. I'll grant you that.
Looks like they're coming up positive now. So
Dr. Purvi Parikh is an allergist. She says indoor allergens have a big impact on her patients too.
Indoor allergens have a big impact on her patients too. Well, it's almost like she has a very biased audience or something.
Things such as dust mite, mold, animal dander, the cockroaches in New York City, those things we're exposed to all year round.
The cockroaches of New York City. I didn't realize that they were a pollen.
Experts say the biggest concern of these intersecting factors is that the consequences are going to be felt most by those in low-income areas who have the least access to medical care.
Of course. Okay, so it's not only botanical sexism, it's botanical classism as well, and possibly racism. Oh boy, I'm having flashbacks to environmental justice and environmental equity, spatial justice, and so on from years back.
And so it's folks who have highest rates of things like asthma that are going to feel the strongest consequences.
You don't say. Can you believe that, guys? People with asthma and respiratory issues are going to have the biggest problems with respiratory issues.
Of higher pollen exposure.
I've always thought of asthma and allergies as separate things, but as you said, you sort of speak about them mutually.
Yes. Yes. I just have to, think about my mother and her inhalers over the course of years and staying out of indoors, I should say, when pollen season hits because she was always gasping for air all the time.
Allergies and asthma really go hand in hand because allergies are the most common cause of asthma.
Yes.
And you can develop asthma at any point.
According to the CDC, Black people are 3 times more likely to die from asthma than white people.
Boy, oh boy. Could I call it or could I call... Botanical racism, everyone. It's not just sexism. No, because sexism is just the gateway drug for all the other isms. Good gravy.
To die from asthma than white people. But both of the experts I spoke to were hopeful about the future and agree there are steps we can all take to slow down the pollen crisis.
Wait. How can you slow down the pollen crisis? You already told us that it is eliminating more non-white people than ever, and the pollen is more potent than ever, and all of the male trees are clogging the air with their seed and making everyone choke on their reproductive goo.
And it starts with being intentional.
Intentional? Oh, okay. You mean a can of gasoline and a match? What?
The government can have more legislation.
Legislation on... Okay, all right. Legislation to do what? Legislation to reduce male trees?
Have more legislation policies that kind of focus on slowing down climate change.
Slowing down climate change.
And maybe even reducing some of these chemicals that we're being exposed to on a
Chemical? You're talking about what? What?
daily basis that are making our immune systems more allergic or asthmatic.
Individually, we can make lifestyle changes like walking, biking, and taking public transportation.
So touching grass. Go outside. Go outside. Build up a tolerance to these things. Expose yourself to the elements. Let your body adapt itself to the environment a little bit more than perhaps just staying indoors all the time. It's kind of an old theory, isn't it?
We can eat healthier and incorporate local produce.
Incorporate local what?
Small steps for a healthier you and a healthier me.
Wow. Could you pick a lane and stay in it for this video? What? All right, that was it. That's all. I had my theories as to what botanical sexism was, just on the name alone. But here I had it proven to me. Let me go back to that. I want to find that chart again. Where's that racist chart? That was the topper. There we go. Yeah, asthma deaths per 1 million people. 35. 3 times more likely than non-Hispanic white people. Except it says non-Hispanic black, non-Hispanic. Well, what about the Hispanics? What about the Asians? What about anybody else? How much worse is it for, Latinos or Asian people? You're not telling us. Why are you leaving those? Why are you marginalizing those groups? NBC. Alan Thyler. Thank you so much for the hiya, Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox.
Wow, wow.
Oh, there's a froggy Dogcat Fox. Thank you so much, Alan. Appreciate it. And also, hello, Dina B. And Mr. Tickle Trunk. I'm here because of insomnia. Well, I'm here, I guess, technically because of, leading edge insomnia. I wasn't sleepy when I usually am. So good evening to you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And Tyler F., good evening. Meh, good evening. Darrow Dell, good evening. Cougar Knife, good evening. Anybody else that I missed? I hope not. But so there you go. Botanical sexism. I didn't know what it was, except maybe I had a notion of what it was, and now I've had it confirmed to me. I like the male trees part. I like that the male trees are less work to maintain than female trees, and thus the male trees are just spouting off their seed into the air, and everybody's choking on it. Oh, no, but wait, it's climate change. Oh, but no, wait, there's particular species of plants that have more potent pollen. Oh, but no, wait, it's not going outside enough. Oh, but no, wait, it's not eating from local produce. Anyway, that's it. That's the show. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I can occasionally rhyme, kind of like Dr. Seuss. Although most of the day, it is of no use. Let's see. Tomorrow, Sunday stream, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, will be the news digest of the week. Boy, oh boy, I might have too many stories for the stream. I just keep collecting all these oddball stories the last couple hours in particular, and so I'm going to have to be very picky or choosy, or just have to zip through some of them, because I got a lot of stuff to cover tomorrow, conceivably. At least I won't run out of material. Because also tomorrow, going out to celebrate Sister Scribe's birthday. It's not her birthday tomorrow, but because of scheduling and stuff, we're doing her birthday celebration tomorrow. So I'm taking her out to lunch. So after the stream tomorrow, off to lunch with Sister Scribe. Beyond that, leave a comment, leave a like. I like it when you leave likes. Also, if you like my stuff or anybody else's stuff on YouTube that you particularly appreciate, be sure to share their stuff out on social media. In particular, for me, it's Twitter, scribe_light. If you want to tag me in your tweet, retweeting my stuff, whether it's this show or my channel or some other show that you like, I appreciate it when you do, and I'll do my best to thank you in person, such as it is, because, I like it when people do that. And other creators will like it too if you do it as well. I think that's it. So, everyone, thank you for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things for this brief stream. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very little to do. Oh, I suppose there may be, I don't know if there is, it's possible. There might be somebody in the chat who is not already a member of the Discord server. Would you like to join the Discord server? Take it from Dina B that you too can join the Discord server without too much trouble, as long as I give you a link to it. Link's in the chat right now. Click on that. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to give the secret word. The secret word tells me you're not a bot, or actually a person, or perhaps a flower. And of thus earn the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. Today's secret word is pollen. Just say, hello, pollen, and I'll know that you watched the stream. Everyone, hope you enjoyed this brief ambush stream. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Hope to see you tomorrow, Sunday morning, for the Sunday stream. And I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.